Horoscope predictions.
Aries.
Aries, today feels like the moment right before a race begins, not the rush itself, but the pause where you sense every part of your energy lining up behind a single goal. The day's pace asks for focus and maturity, not impulse. You may feel an internal push to prove yourself, to move something forward that's been hanging in uncertainty. But the real power of this moment comes from slowing down just enough to make your next move deliberate. Someone around you, perhaps a coworker, family member, or friend, may challenge your patience, testing your ability to respond with clarity rather than reaction. What unfolds today has the potential to reshape how others see your consistency and leadership. It's less about bold gestures and more about showing that you can finish what you start. By the afternoon, you could notice a shift in tone. The energy softens, becoming more reflective. You might catch yourself reassessing your priorities, wondering if what you've been chasing still feels aligned with your deeper needs. This isn't about giving up, it's about refining your direction. Small, practical decisions, sending that message, finishing that task, organizing a plan for next week, carry more impact than you realize. In your relationships, honesty feels more necessary than ever, but it's best shared calmly, without edge. Tonight brings the chance to exhale, to let your mind settle after a demanding few days. A quiet walk, a workout, or even time spent cooking can ground you again. You're learning the rhythm between power and patience, and that lesson is worth everything. Your lucky colors are crimson, sand, and graphite, and your lucky numbers are 3, 19, and 44.
Taurus.
Taurus, there is a steady pulse in the air today, a feeling that something in your world is shifting. Not dramatically, but purposefully. You might find yourself thinking more about stability, money, or the routines that give your life structure. The day brings a quiet reminder that progress doesn't always announce itself loudly. It shows up in small signs of order returning. If you've been dealing with uncertainty or delays, today offers a chance to regain control, especially through practical choices. Conversations about finances, work commitments, or long-term goals could move forward now. It's also a good day to set boundaries around your time, saying no to distractions or obligations that drain your energy without return. The world around you might be noisy, but you operate best today by grounding into what's real and within reach. As evening settles in, your thoughts may turn toward personal comfort and emotional steadiness. You might crave quiet connection, a conversation that feels authentic, time with someone who understands you without you needing to explain much, or simply an evening spent in your own company without guilt. There's healing in routine tonight, cooking your favorite meal, cleaning your space, or sitting with a notebook and mapping out your plans. The energy of this day supports rebuilding one steady, deliberate step at a time. A decision made now, no matter how small, can bring relief by the end of the week. Trust that patience doesn't mean stagnation. It's the groundwork for lasting growth. Your lucky colors are forest, bronze, and cream, and your lucky numbers are 7, 23, and 51.
Gemini.
Gemini, today is one of those days that asks you to narrow your focus instead of scattering your energy across too many directions. The planetary mood encourages follow-through, something you've been trying to improve lately. You might wake up feeling pulled between curiosity and responsibility, tempted to chase new ideas even though older. Projects are waiting for your attention. It's okay to feel that restlessness. It's part of your rhythm. but today's progress comes through structure. If you can commit to finishing what's half done, whether it's a work deadline, a financial decision, or a personal promise, you'll feel a stronger sense of control over your momentum. People around you may rely on your adaptability, but this time, reliability speaks louder than versatility. Small acts of consistency, returning that call, organizing that space, or following through on a plan will create ripple effects of calm that carry into the weekend. Later in the day, the emotional atmosphere shifts toward communication and clarity. You may feel drawn into an important conversation that reveals something deeper about a person's intentions or your own expectations. Don't rush to respond. Instead, listen for what's unsaid. You could realize that someone's frustration or distance has less to do with you and more to do with their own inner tension. Your empathy and humor can help diffuse awkwardness if you keep things grounded. Tonight favors downtime, a simple meal, light entertainment, or journaling your thoughts before bed. The mental fog you felt earlier in the week begins to clear once you slow your thoughts enough to hear yourself again. You're learning to pair curiosity with discipline, and that's where your real growth begins. Your lucky colors are sky, coral, and steel, and your lucky numbers are 9, 16, and 41.
Cancer.
Cancer, today's energy brings you back to the heart of your responsibilities, asking for balance between nurturing others and caring for yourself. You may wake up with a to-do list that feels heavier than usual, but there's a quiet determination running beneath the surface, a sense that you're ready to handle what comes your way. The morning may start with practical demands, sorting through work matters, financial planning, or managing small household details that need attention. It's not glamorous, but it's grounding. You're being guided to bring order to the tangible aspects of your life so that your emotional space can breathe again. Avoid falling into the trap of doing everything for everyone. Today is about drawing realistic lines between support and sacrifice. You'll find that when you take a more structured approach, even emotionally charged tasks become easier to manage. As the day progresses, you could notice a soft emotional shift, something or someone reminding you that stability also comes from connection. Whether it's a heartfelt message, a familiar voice, or an unexpected moment of gratitude, your heart feels recentered. This evening's energy encourages rest and reflection rather than productivity. You might crave comfort, familiar music, a warm meal, or simply unplugging from outside noise for a few hours. Don't underestimate how powerful it is to give yourself space to decompress. You've been carrying more emotional weight than you realize, and tonight helps release some of that. A good conversation or moment of quiet validation can remind you of your worth, not for what you do, but for who you are. Your lucky colors are plum, ivory, and ocean, and your lucky numbers are 5, 18, and 36.
Leo.
Leo, today's energy grounds you in practicality while quietly nudging your confidence back into alignment. You may find yourself revisiting a situation that once felt settled, perhaps a financial decision, a work commitment, or a conversation that didn't quite land right the first time. The universe is inviting you to approach it again, this time with clearer eyes and steadier emotion. Your usual instinct might be to charge forward, but there's wisdom today in pacing yourself. People may be looking to you for direction, and while you naturally lead with presence, today it's your patience and discernment that will speak louder than charisma. Tasks that once felt routine could hold deeper meaning now, especially when they connect to long-term goals. The morning may bring subtle challenges and balancing personal pride with practicality. But your strength today lies in calm authority, doing what's needed without seeking applause. By evening, the emotional tone softens, offering space to reconnect with what genuinely fuels your motivation. You might find peace in small rituals, tidying your space, cooking a comforting meal, or spending time in quiet reflection. There's a renewed focus on long-term stability rather than instant recognition, and that shift helps restore your balance. Someone close may reach out for advice or understanding, and your grounded presence will remind them of your reliability. This day also encourages small but meaningful self-evaluation, not about what others think, but how you define progress for yourself. Growth doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's simply about realizing how much calmer you are when facing what used to overwhelm you. Let the evening wind down gently, giving yourself permission to recharge. Your lucky colors are amber, slate, and fern, and your lucky numbers are 2, 25, and 47.
Virgo.
Virgo, today feels like a subtle turning point, not loud or dramatic, but steady and necessary. You're beginning to sense the rewards of recent effort, even if they're not fully visible yet. The energy favors organization and reflection, asking you to focus on what's truly manageable rather than chasing perfection. This could be a day of tying up loose ends, clearing messages, sorting through plans, or reestablishing your daily rhythm after a stretch of unpredictability. A practical mindset helps you navigate small delays or misunderstandings without losing momentum. If you've been questioning a work direction or personal goal, today gives you the clarity to decide what's worth continuing and what's time to release. It's not about scrapping everything, it's about refining. By midday, a conversation or new piece of information may guide your next move, and you'll feel that familiar Virgo satisfaction in understanding how the details fit together. As the day unfolds, the emotional tone deepens in subtle ways. You may crave solitude or a quieter atmosphere, not because you want to disconnect, but because you need space to think without external pressure. Relationships take on a practical hue, less about sentimentality, more about cooperation and mutual respect. If tensions arise, your ability to stay measured will help bring calm where others may react. Tonight, reflection comes naturally. Journaling, light reading, or a simple walk can help you process your thoughts. You're starting to rebuild confidence from the inside out, guided by the quiet understanding that small, steady steps hold more power than sudden leaps. The day ends with a feeling of quiet satisfaction, the kind that comes from knowing you're back in rhythm with yourself. Your lucky colors are taupe, emerald, and linen, and your lucky numbers are 6, 20, and 33.
Libra.
Libra, today places you at the center of a balancing act, one that tests how well you can hold space for others without losing your sense of direction. You may find yourself caught between competing responsibilities, where work demands pull you in one direction while personal matters tug at your focus in another. The morning begins with a practical undertone. Meetings, errands, follow-ups, or decisions that require your full attention. But beneath that structure, you may also feel a quiet need for emotional steadiness. The last several days might have been mentally cluttered, and now you're starting to crave simplicity. This isn't a day for major risks or dramatic moves. It's about reestablishing harmony through small, deliberate choices. Whether it's setting boundaries at work, organizing your schedule, or cleaning up financial details, the relief comes from seeing tangible order return. The energy supports accountability and calm, something you've been trying to rebuild lately. As evening approaches, the tone softens, giving you time to reconnect with your inner world. You might notice that you're less reactive, more observant, almost detached, but in a way that allows you to see things clearly. Conversations tonight could hold quiet significance, especially those that help you understand where you stand with someone emotionally. Try not to rush to fix every imbalance. Sometimes peace grows naturally when you stop forcing outcomes. There's power in staying centered while others may still be figuring out their rhythm. This is a good night for reflection, journaling, or simply resting in the comfort of your surroundings. The more grounded you feel now, the easier it becomes to make bigger decisions later in the week. The day closes with calm assurance, not a resolution, but a sense that you're back in alignment with yourself. Your lucky colors are navy, almond, and moss, and your lucky numbers are 4, 21, and 38.
Scorpio.
Scorpio today carries a tone of subtle intensity, the kind that doesn't announce itself loudly but can be felt in how you move, speak, and decide. You're entering a moment of quiet power where clarity begins to replace confusion. Early in the day, you might sense a shift in your thinking. Something that was once emotionally charged now feels more objective, more manageable. You could find yourself revisiting a conversation or decision from earlier this week. This time, seeing it from a distance, that gives you better perspective. The theme of today revolves around measured control, not dominance or retreat, but the steady awareness that comes from knowing your own limits. Professionally, it's an excellent time to assess next steps or revisit an opportunity that may have gone overlooked. In personal matters, you might surprise yourself with how calm you feel in situations that used to provoke you. That's growth, even if it doesn't feel glamorous. Later in the day, the emotional current deepens, bringing you into a reflective mood. You may crave solitude or choose to spend time with only those who feel emotionally safe. This isn't isolation, it's self-protection in its healthiest form. You're learning to filter out noise and center your attention on what truly deserves your energy. Someone close to you might open up in a way that reveals more than you expected. Listen carefully, but don't rush to respond. Your calm presence holds more weight than any advice could. Tonight's energy favors grounding rituals. Something tactile like cooking, cleaning, or journaling can help you process your thoughts.
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Today's rhythm slows you down in a way that may feel unusual at first, but turns out to be exactly what you need. The pace of life around you might not match your natural momentum. Others may seem cautious, hesitant, or too caught up in small details. Instead of pushing against that energy, try to meet it halfway. The morning brings clarity around something you've been avoiding. Maybe a financial matter, a responsibility you've delayed, or a conversation that's been waiting for the right tone. What feels tedious now could actually free you later if you face it head-on. Your instincts are sharp, but logic needs a seat at the table today. You're learning that freedom expands when structure supports it. Professionally, it's a day to check your progress rather than chase new beginnings. Even a short review of your goals could show how much ground you've quietly covered. As evening unfolds, your mood softens, and the intensity of the day starts to fade into reflection. You might feel drawn toward calm environments, somewhere familiar, like home, or a conversation with someone who helps you think clearly. This is not about escape, it's about integration. You're piecing together lessons from recent weeks and realizing that growth sometimes hides inside stillness. Emotionally, you're in a place where perspective matters more than perfection. Don't ignore your body either. Rest, stretch, hydrate. Give yourself time to decompress. Tonight's insights will likely shape how you handle a larger decision in the days ahead. The more balanced your state of mind, the easier it will be to act with confidence when the moment comes. Your lucky colors are maroon, sage, and ivory, and your lucky numbers are 2, 18, and 45.
Capricorn.
Capricorn, today's atmosphere encourages steadiness, a reminder that your persistence, not luck, is what keeps everything moving forward. You may begin the morning feeling mentally heavy or even slightly withdrawn, but that's not a setback. It's your system recalibrating after a long stretch of pushing through responsibilities. This is a day for clarity through simplicity. Instead of multitasking or trying to handle too much at once, narrow your focus to what's essential. Your practical side thrives when you take things one structured step at a time. Conversations about commitments or long-term planning might surface now, especially in your professional or financial life. Even if it feels like the progress is slow, the foundation you're building is durable. Small adjustments, budgeting, scheduling, organizing, but they're powerful tools of stability. The more intentional your choices today, the less chaos you'll deal with later. As the day winds down, your inner voice gets louder, not in urgency, but in wisdom. You might realize that despite your steady exterior, you've been running on reserve energy for a while. The evening offers space to decompress, perhaps by stepping back from others' expectations and grounding yourself in quiet routine. A moment of solitude could bring insight about where your limits truly are and what kind of rest you actually need. Relationships take on a more honest tone, not necessarily emotional, but straightforward and calm. You're also beginning to sense that letting go of control doesn't mean losing order. It means trusting the structure you've already built. If you can release the need to manage every detail tonight, you'll wake up tomorrow with renewed clarity. Your lucky colors are onyx, copper, and pine, and your lucky numbers are 7, 29, and 54.
Aquarius.
Aquarius. This day brings a blend of mental clarity and emotional realism that helps you see situations for what they are, not what you wish them to be. Early in the morning, you may notice your mind racing with plans, ideas, or unresolved conversations. Something about the energy around you feels busier than usual. Perhaps coworkers are relying on your input, or a friend keeps turning to you for advice. But instead of feeling scattered, you're being called to find structure within the noise. Your ability to detach emotionally when needed can actually serve you well today. It helps you filter through what matters and what doesn't. You might also realize that a personal goal, something you once saw as far off, is starting to feel more reachable, provided you keep your focus and consistency. The trick is to avoid overanalyzing every variable. Stick to what you know works and let the rest evolve naturally. As the day progresses, a quiet wave of self-awareness moves through you. You may find yourself reflecting on how much mental energy you've been giving to others lately, and how much less you've given to yourself. Tonight, the focus shifts inward. Maybe you'll crave silence, or the need to tidy your space, or even just unplug from digital noise for a few hours. A balanced kind of solitude will recharge your creativity and emotional balance. Someone may reach out unexpectedly, testing your boundaries, but you'll know instinctively where to draw the line. By night's end, your thoughts become clearer, almost like a mental reset before the weekend. You're preparing for a subtle but meaningful shift in how you approach your commitments. Your lucky colors are indigo, charcoal, and cream, and your lucky numbers are 8, 32, and 47.
Pisces.
Pisces, today's energy asks you to stay emotionally anchored even as situations around you keep changing. The day may begin with a lingering feeling that something's uncertain, maybe a relationship dynamic, a creative project, or even your personal motivation. That's okay. The universe isn't trying to confuse you. It's nudging you to trust your instincts more than your assumptions. You could find yourself mediating between two sides of an issue. Offering perspective without realizing you're the calm in someone else's storm. Just remember to leave space for your own emotions too. There's a difference between empathy and absorption, and today is a lesson in that balance. Professionally, a small piece of feedback or a passing comment might trigger an insight about where you've been holding back. Instead of retreating, take it as a quiet push forward. You're learning that your dreams are not fragile. They're simply waiting for you to take them seriously. By evening, a softer emotional tone sets in. The tension of the day fades into something more reflective, almost like an internal sigh of relief. You might crave something grounding, cooking, journaling, listening to familiar music, or spending quiet time with someone you trust. This isn't about isolation. It's about reconnecting to what feels stable and real. A part of you may even realize that your emotions, once overwhelming, now make more sense when you slow down and let them speak. You're regaining control not by fighting your sensitivity, but by respecting it. The next few days will ask for the same awareness, pacing yourself, resting deeply, and letting clarity unfold naturally.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more daily star wisdom. Let me know your sign in the comments and how this day unfolds for you. I'll see you tomorrow for another celestial check-in. Thank you so much for watching.